Hi everyone, welcome to this brief tutorial on viewing student progress reports. I'm Ann Williams, and today we'll discuss how to use student progress data, how to access student progress data, ways to interpret student quiz scores, and how to identify if students completed the reading assignment. Let's start with how to use student progress data. With printed textbooks, you greet your class in the morning and you have no idea which of your students completed the reading assignment. You have no idea if one of these smiling faces is secretly struggling with the content and already falling behind. With digital textbooks, you can see your students are completing their homework assignments. You can see their quiz scores. You can see the number of times they attempted a quiz before they achieved a passing score, and you can drill down and see which questions they missed. You'll know which of these students is ready for today's lesson and which needs more time and attention because they're struggling. So this data is a pulse point. It helps you intervene with struggling students quickly so that you're better able to get them back on track if they need tutoring or support. Good. We understand that this data gives us insight into our class of students. Now let's talk about how to access student progress data. To find student progress data, you'll log in at massagemastery.online by choosing the school dashboard and then entering your email and password. You'll scroll down on your school dashboard to the group management link and then arrive at the group management page. You've named this cohort Fall 2021 Preventing Disease Morning because you also have an evening group who started in Fall 2021 and they're also using preventing disease transmission in a massage practice. Make sure to click on the correct group, then scroll down to the table. This is our cohort of 6 students. Name student A through F for demonstration purposes. The table also includes 2 group leaders. They are Administrator A, the school's primary group leader, and Teacher A, the person instructing this particular cohort. The first thing to notice is the status shown here. You can see that students A through E are in progress. These students have logged in and worked in their digital textbooks. Student F has not started. This student has not logged into their textbook. They clearly haven't done the reading assignment. We'll also be using this link right here called Reports. All right, let's step back for a moment and let's imagine that I've given my students their first assignment. They had 1 week to read Lesson 1, an overview of disease, and pass the Lesson 1 quiz. Their due date is 5:00 p.m. on the evening before the class. It's now 6:00 p.m. and I want to see which of my students completed the assignment on time for full points. The first thing we'll check is how students did on the quiz. Quiz data often gives us all the information we need. We'll know right away if students did the reading assignment through their quiz scores. If they passed a quiz on the first or second try, then they likely read the material. If they made multiple failing attempts before they pass, they may be trying to game the system by just taking the quiz repeatedly until they pass. If they failed and abandoned or never attempted, they might be dealing with test anxiety, or they simply never got through the reading assignment. To pass a quiz, students must achieve a 70% score. Back on the group management page, we'll choose Report and Quiz. Now we have to choose the quiz we want to view. We'll choose Lesson 1, an overview of disease. Notice that student A shows an entry that says, no stats recorded. This is an abandoned quiz attempt. The student might be one of those students who wants a perfect score. When the student missed a response, they may have abandoned the quiz to do more study before trying again. Then student A gets a perfect score on a second try. Student B also abandoned on the first try, then failed a quiz but came back for a third try and passed with 90%. We can see that student C abandoned once, then failed twice, and never tried again. This is concerning. We make a note to look deeper into student C's work. Student D didn't attempt a quiz. We'll take a look at his reading record in just a minute. Now student E abandoned, then passed with 90%, passed again with 90%, and then passed with 100%. Like student A, student E wanted a perfect score. Let's find out more about student C, who failed twice and doesn't have a passing score, and student D, who didn't attempt a quiz. We'll get more information about student C and student D by taking a closer look at their reading assignments. We want to return to the main group management page for the cohort, remember, named Fall 2021_Preventing Disease_Morning. Click Reports, Progress. Remember, we want to check on student C and student D. Type in student C's name, in this case student C, and click on the student in the Search Users bar. Next, to the Preventing Disease title, click on the drop-down arrow. Click on Lesson 1, an Overview of Disease. We can see that student C did the work. This student has marked each topic complete. They made 3 quiz attempts, but because they were unable to pass, the box next to the quiz remains unchecked. We know that something more is going on and will need to follow up with student C to get more information. Maybe they have a reading challenge. Maybe they have English as a second language and they don't realize that they can translate the digital text into their native language. Maybe they can be partnered with student A or student E who have strong study skills, or maybe the school has tutoring services available. Now, let's check on student D, who did not attempt a quiz. Come back to the Search Users bar and type in student D. Give the system a moment to update and then click the drop-down by the textbook title to expand the contents. Click on Lesson 1. We can see that D did some reading. They completed topics A through D, but they didn't do the learning games or attempt the quiz. Again, we need to follow up to find out what's happening. Did something come up and they simply didn't have time to finish? Do they have test anxiety, something that might make the learning games feel stressful instead of fun? We'll want to know what's going on so that we can create a plan to get D caught up. Let's come back to the main group management page for this cohort and click on Reports. Now click on Quiz and choose Lesson 1, an Overview of Disease. We see our students and their scores and attempts again. Let's take a closer look at student B's score. We just click on this little clipboard and we can see which items student B answered correctly and which incorrectly. Back at Group Management again, let's click on Reports and Textbooks. This link only tells us the percentage of the textbook the student has completed. The other reports for assignments and essays are features of our program that we've not yet developed. So right now, these are just placeholders. Great work! We've got a basic understanding of how to view and use student progress reports from the group management page. We know that we can view student quiz scores, quiz attempts, and what sections of a textbook the student has read and marked complete. Thanks so much for taking the time to learn about this process. As always, if you need anything, just contact us using the link in the footer at the bottom of every web page.